Let's talk to someone else who's in Sacramento. He goes by the name of Tim Roye. Hi there, voice of the Dubs, Tim Roye. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm inside the Golden One Center, and it's going to be about as quiet as this building will get all night. So I love getting to the arena early, watching some of the young guys warm up and stuff, and just kind of easing my way into this, what I think is going to be one heck of a game.
I mean, the stage is set. Tim, maybe you can help me with something I've been asking everybody around here all day long. You're the perfect guy to ask because you've been to every single game this year. The Warriors have been playing basketball since October, at full strength, on the road against a high-level team. They've not done that all year. Like, not once have they gone on the road and beaten a high-level playoff team all year long. Why am I supposed to believe they'll do it tonight?
Two reasons. One, it's the playoffs. And the second reason is that if you look at their play over the last few weeks on the road, it's been getting better incrementally. And even the first two games of the series, they had chances to win both games. And you can make the argument that if they go against script and take care of the ball tonight and don't throw it all over the gym, that they're going to give themselves a really good chance to win. Because I think without those turnovers in game one and game two, I think this series would be a little bit different. But they're a veteran team that's won championships. And so I think if any team can reverse the kind of road trend that they've been on this year, it can be the Warriors.
It's rare that they have a Game 5 on the road in which they are tied at 2 games apiece in a best-of-7. What makes this series different than the other ones we've seen where they've gone deep, especially those early in the postseason run?
Well, I think what makes it a little bit different is that they're playing a team that has a little bit of a different fan base, a little bit of a different of arc, if you will. Sacramento is brand new to this, so it's really exciting to them and to their fan base. And I think the crowd noise makes a little bit of a difference in this building. And I'm just curious to see how the Warriors can combat that, use their experience to combat that. I think in some of the early ones, they were playing in places maybe that weren't necessarily the best home court advantage. And I think the Warriors took that away. So I'm kind of curious to see how they attack that tonight.
Tim Roye with us, the voice of the Dubs on Willard and Dibs 95.7 The Game. Tim, do you agree with me that tonight is just it's big for everybody, obviously. It's a little bit more important for the Kings than it is to the Warriors, in my opinion. You agree?
I agree. I think there's more pressure on the Kings tonight because I don't think they want to go back down 3-2 to chase. And I think if the Warriors lose this game, I think they go back with the knowledge that they've been outstanding and they're building all year long, and they can give themselves a chance to even it up, get to a Game 7, and then all bets are off. So yeah, I agree. I think, especially if the Warriors get out to a lead, if the Warriors can get out to a sizable lead, then I think the pressure starts to mount on Sacramento.
What do you think about the starting lineup tonight? Not only what will Steve do, but what would you do considering the fact that Draymond Green came off the bench in Game 4 and they look so good? Do you go with the one big again, or do you put Draymond Green back in the lineup? Do you go with Jordan Poole? What do you think, Tim, in terms of how they start this game?
Oh, I like, if you look at the numbers, either one of those lineups is a great choice. That Warrior lineup that started the year before they had their injuries in a series of different things throughout the season with, Clay, Steph, Draymond, and then you had Looney and Wiggins. That was a really potent 5 lineup. But then in the 31 minutes or so that the starting lineup with Poole has played, their offensive ratings like 122, their defensive ratings like 94. That's pretty good. So maybe, I think, in this case, maybe you stay with Poole because of it. I'm not sure what Steve Kerr's going to do, but I think he has the advantage of one of the strengths of the core of this team, and that is unselfishness. The Warriors have always been, this group of Warriors has always been defined by players sacrificing for the greater good. Starting with Andre Iguodala, coming off the bench, heading up the second unit, going with Andrew Bogut in 2015 and telling him in the NBA Finals, his first NBA Finals, hey, we're going to start Andre Iguodala in Game 4. And he was okay with that, going on and on. So I think they have this option because of the fact that at their core, this group is very unselfish, and they really don't care who gets the credit, and that's a great weapon to have.
Tim, you look at what happened in Game 4, where the minutes kind of got extended, especially for Steph. In your opinion, beyond those core six, you were just discussing many of them, beyond that core six, who's getting minutes tonight?
You mean for the Warriors,
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That, yeah.
I think the usual suspects. I think you'll see Dante DiVincenzo get minutes. I think he'll get some time off the bench. I think they'll have pretty much the normal type of rotation that they've had. I think Steve believes in the guys that he's been putting out there. And, I don't know if we'll go, 11 deep, but I think you'll see at least 9, maybe 10.
What about GP2 and the way he's played? Has it been illness-related? Has it been maybe a bad fit in this series? What do you make of the fact that GP2 has not really had a big impact in the last couple of games?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a little bit that he was under the weather, and I think the other part is that maybe there's not the great matchup for him in this series. And so I think he's going to be fine, though, because you can put him out there, and maybe we'll see him guard Malik Monk tonight. And you know that if Monk's handling the ball near GP2, there's going to be a steal coming. At some point, there'll be a steal. And so I think he'll find a way on the floor tonight. And after a couple more days to recover, I think he'll probably be better than what we've seen so far in this series.
Tim, what's your take on De'Aaron Fox? Maybe fool's gold to get to feel like he's going to be something less than he usually is. What do you think we're going to see from him tonight?
Well, he said yesterday he's playing. His teammates say that he's playing, so that tells me that he looks okay. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's a fractured tip of a finger. That's not fun. But I think offensively, I think he'll be okay. I think where it may come into play is if there's, some contact, or if he's trying to box somebody out, or he's trying to go for a steal, and that finger gets banged hard by, somebody coming by, then I think it could be problematic for him. But I expect him to play, and I expect him to be good. He's had a tremendous year, and, truly one of the up-and-coming, young stars in this league.
Steph Curry, nearly 43 minutes in Game 4. Is that sustainable, or do you think that Steve Kerr has to maybe scale that back, knowing that there'll be a game Friday and maybe a game Sunday as well?
You can scale it back if you win this series and have a couple of days off. You can't scale it back now. If you need him for 40 minutes, the plus-minus differential for him has been off the charts in this series. And so what they need to do is find a way to be good in the minutes when he's off the floor. That will help Steph Curry's minutes. But, right now you're in a dogfight of a series. If you lose tonight, you're down 3-2 and facing an elimination game. So I think, all bets are off, and if you got to play him, 42-43, so be it.
Speaking of the word sustainable, Tim, I don't think Sabonis has been awful in this series. He's just not been as good as advertised. What is it the Warriors are doing to him, and is that sustainable?
I think that the Warriors have found matchups for him that have been really good, and they've done I think the best job they've done have been on the other people, the cuts and the handoffs. So his assist numbers are way down. So to me, that's been the biggest thing. And I mean, I'm the Warriors radio announcer, but I truly believe Kevon Looney might be one of the most underrated players in the entire association. What he does with Sabonis, even the buckets he scores where Sabonis has to work hard has been, outstanding in this series. The thing with Sabonis is if he's decisive early, catches the ball, makes a move right away, I think that's when he's at his best. If they can make him think a little bit tonight, then I think that's going to be to their advantage.
We know that role players play better at home. Is Keegan Murray the big X factor for Sacramento tonight, coming off of his good Game 4?
Yeah, they've got guys that can really score. Malik Monk has been much better at home in this series too, but Murray found his stride. He's a rookie, and all rookies, or not all, but some rookies take a couple of games to find their playoff stride, and I think he's found his. So he's somebody now you have to account for. You can't just let him go out there when he gets a wide open look. And same for her. We have not heard much from him in this series either. So they have guys that can shoot. They have guys that can score. I mean, they're the top-rated offense, for a reason. And so any of those guys, I think, are ones that could be a big factor.
Okay, Tim, your voice has recovered from that final call.
Yeah, I'm fine tonight. The only bad thing about me in the playoffs is playoffs always coincide with my worst 2.5 months of allergies all year long.
Yep.
And this year worse than ever, right? After all the rainfall.
Oh, it's gonna be it's awful already. I can feel it. My eyes are tightening up. I may have to call Dan Dibley in to get some work in.
Well, if you can possibly maybe take something, that would become an inhalation sensation if you can.
Yeah. Well, I do have the albuterol just in case, so it's always around.
That's my guy.
But hopefully. Fortunate for me, radio announcers don't get drug tested, so I'm good.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. Say something controversial, Tim. Who's got better allergies, the Kings franchise or the Warriors?
Who's got better allergies?
Yeah, who's got better allergies, Sacramento or the Bay?
Well, you know what? Boy, that's a tough one because I live out in the country. Both of them have been bad.
All right.
Yeah, the Kings. The correct answer is the Kings because they're allergic to advancing in the playoffs, Tim.
Oh, listen to that.
Yeah, that's me. That's me, Tim, not you.
Fighting
Thank
words.
you.
All right.
That's my guy.
All right, Tim. We'll let you go now. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, my friend.
He's the best. I mean, honestly, he's the best.